There is always one person in the room who says almost nothing at all, and yet everyone notices them. They are not the loudest person in the room. They are not performing for anyone. They are simply present. And when they finally do speak, the entire room stops. Everyone goes quiet just to listen. This is not luck. This is not charisma. This is something far more deliberate and calculated. This is the psychology of silence, and smart people have been using it for a very long time. We live in a world that is completely addicted to noise. Everyone around you is drowning in it. Everyone is talking at once, posting, performing, and desperately competing for attention. And the louder the world gets, the less anyone actually stops to listen. The noise never ends. Psychologists call this the signal-to-noise problem. When everything screams for attention, nothing gets it. When everything around you is loud, your silence becomes the loudest thing in the room. Smart people figured this out long ago. They stopped competing for noise and started weaponizing quiet. Here is what the research actually shows, and it will change how you see every conversation from this point forward. Here is what the research actually shows, and it will change how you see every conversation from this point forward. Psychologists call this the halo of restraint. The brain interprets self-control as a signal of competence. When you deliberately hold back your words, other people around you begin to assume that you know something important that they don't. Every time you speak unnecessarily, you leak power. Small amounts, one word at a time. Every time you stay quiet when others expect you to react, you take that power back. Negotiation researchers have confirmed this for decades. The first person to break silence almost always loses. Because silence creates psychological pressure, and most people simply cannot tolerate that pressure for long. Smart people do not rush to fill that silence. They sit comfortably inside it and let it work completely in their favor. But here is something most people never realize. Not all silence works the same way. There are different kinds. There are 3 specific types that smart people use, and each one serves a completely different purpose. The first is observational silence. This is when you stop talking entirely and start watching everything around you. While others perform and talk, you are collecting information they don't even know they are giving away. Every room has a truth beneath the surface. Observational silence is exactly how you find it. The second is strategic silence. Someone asks you a question, and instead of answering immediately, you pause. That pause, just 2 or 3 seconds, completely changes how your answer is received. It signals that you think carefully before you speak. And in a world where nobody does that, you stand out completely. The third is protective silence. This is the one most people struggle with the most. Not every question deserves your answer. Not every provocation deserves your reaction. When someone tries to pull a reaction from you, and you give them nothing, that is complete and total control. Now let us talk about the mistake most people make, the one that silently costs them more than they realize. Most people believe that talking more makes them appear more confident, more interesting, more likable. But research shows it does the exact opposite. Excessive talking signals anxiety, not confidence. Every personal detail you volunteer without being asked is information someone else can use against you later. Every weakness you reveal unnecessarily becomes leverage in someone else's hands. Smart people understand that mystery is magnetic. What people cannot fully figure out, they cannot stop thinking about. The less you reveal about yourself, the more powerful and magnetic your presence becomes to everyone around you. So here is how you begin practicing this. And you can start today, in your very next conversation. The next time someone says something that triggers you, wait 3 full seconds before you respond. In those 3 seconds, you take back complete control of the moment. You choose your response instead of just reacting. Next, try asking one thoughtful question instead of making 3 statements in a row. Watch what happens. The other person will begin to fill the silence and reveal far more than they intended to. Because most people are not comfortable with silence, they will rush to fill it every single time. And while they talk, you listen, you observe, you understand everything they are revealing. The person who listens the most in any room almost always understands the most about everyone in it. That understanding is real power, quiet, invisible, and completely unshakable. The world will keep getting louder, more desperate for attention, more addicted to noise every single day. And those who master silence will stand out more with every single day that passes. Not because they are the smartest person in the room, Not because they are the most talented or gifted, but because in a world that never shuts up, they chose silence. And that choice changed everything. And in the end, silence chose them back. The smartest people in the room are rarely the loudest. Remember that.